With over-the-air updates, often firmware teams get stuck trying to make sure the correct version goes to the correct device. Memfault has created an OTA management system that allows you to control your updates all from our UI. We support targeted releases, incremental or delta updates, staged rollouts, must pass through releases, as well as a few other features. Before I show you how, I want to talk through 3 concepts that will help the right update get to the right device. In your Memfault project, you can denote multiple hardware versions. Click on Settings, Hardware, to see a list of all existing hardware versions, their primary software type, and you can also create hardware versions from this page as well. Under Software, Reported Versions, this is where you'll get a full list of software types. And also, again, we have this button to create a new software type as well. The third concept I wanted to speak about is cohorts. Cohorts are groupings of devices that you can control. You can decide which devices you want in which cohorts. Note that one device can only be in one and only one cohort at any given time. You can map or move devices into cohorts through the UI. One way to do this is in our device search. You can search given any criteria for a list of devices. For simplicity, I'll just pick a few device serials here. You can bulk select here and then change and move those devices to any specific cohort you want. Okay, let's get into it. So under software, OTA releases, this is where you can go to create a new release and see a list of all of the current versions. So I am going to create a new release. I have the option to create a full release or a delta release. A delta release is helpful if you have pretty big payloads that you're trying to deliver to your devices. So today we're going to focus on a full release to show off some of the features affiliated with them. So you can put in the name of your version or the numerical value, the string of your version, the revision, any affiliated notes. And this is where you can also denote if this is a must pass through release. This is helpful for any releases that are mission critical for your devices, and it will force them to download this update before any subsequent updates. Click Create here. Let's imagine I created version 1.0.1. I can click into it and see at a high level what's happening on the release. I can also add my OTA payload to this release. Here I can select the hardware version, which auto-populates with the software type, the primary software type affiliated with it. And I can upload the payload file here. Great, so let's target this release to a specific cohort. Under Fleet Cohorts, you can see a list of all of the different cohorts that we have in our project SmartSync. So here, my goal today is to get our default cohort up on this latest 1.0.1 release. You can see that currently it's on 1.0.0. We have 19 devices here. Simply select the target release, check the check mark, and now I have 2 options. I can either do a normal rollout, which will go to 100% of the devices automatically, or I can do a staged rollout, where I can choose if I want to go to a specific percentage here. And then you click Activate. Once that happens, you can click into the software distribution. Here, it's pretty simplistic as this is our demo data. And they're all running 1.0.1 behind the scenes. And so if you click in here, you can see a full matrix of all of your devices, which version they're currently on, which ones they're targeted for, is pretty simplistic here, as we only have a few devices and a few versions. But if you have a much larger fleet, it's probably a lot more complicated. And this gives you a really good view into what's happening on your fleet today. So here I did, if you noticed, I did not activate the 1.0.1, but this one has been activated. We have a staged rollout here. I can edit the release activation to, to up the percentage if things are going well. If things are not going well, I have my abort button in the upper right-hand corner here, and then I can just update that for the fleet. And the next time the devices talk to Memfault, they'll know then to receive that payload that's sitting in that version. Here we can also look at helpful information from our cohort here, default. We can see general high-level information, and then also we have a few more settings that you can dive into on your own time that are helpful for specific scenarios that you may encounter. And that's it. Thanks for joining.